Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jami.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
Welcome back to another episode of FitBody Lifestyle and our fusion hack for this week. We've had a couple of amazing episodes here for our love and marriage series with the Lagorios, Nikki and Josef. We're so blessed to have you guys here, and we've laughed and cried, and it's just been like the most amazing time. So if you guys haven't seen the longer episodes that are released on Monday, make sure that you watch part 1 and part 2 next week. But today is all about our fusion hack and giving you guys some little tidbits that you can apply or consider, for your own life and your own relationship. Of course, we know I'm here with my love and marriage partner. I'm on his microphone now.
Why? That's mine.
Papa Beard, aka Lommel, aka.
Move it on.
So Nikki and Josef, welcome.
Hello, I'm Nikki Lagorio. I have BB Bikini Pro, FitBody Fusion Coach, and Trophy Wife to Josef Lagorio.
Wow, I like
Okay,
it.
all
To
right.
who? To who?
Josef Lagorio.
You're calling him Joseph now?
Wow.
Oh, Josephine.
Oh no. Yes, I'm Josef Lagorio. Happy to be here.
Oh, you're not the trophy husband?
I am the husband.
The.
Yes, I am the trophy husband. Yes.
Yes, I love you guys. Y'all are awesome. So I know one of the things we talked about on the longer episodes is therapy and the role that that's played for you both individually as well as a couple. And I know I had mentioned this, that, I hear this a lot from couples that are super strong and all of them have gone through difficulty. I don't think we definitely have not sat on this couch with anybody that said, it's just been easy the whole way through. No, I mean, everybody's had a moment that they were like, are we going to make it?
Right.
Mhm.
Including us for
Yep.
sure. So tell us, how did you go about finding a therapist? And I think you first and then Josef. So tell us,
Yeah.
what was the process of finding that?
So for me, for individual therapy, I started there before we explored couples therapy. I knew that I wanted someone who was going to make me work. I was struggling with anxiety and panic disorder, and I knew that I wanted solutions for myself. I actually went through 3 therapists before I found the one that I really liked.
I think that's a good point. You may not find somebody that you resonate
Yeah.
with the first time.
And it's similar to a coach, right? Like, it's okay to say, like, this, we don't gel. Like, you're not what I want. You're great, but you're not what I want. And so, yeah, I went through 3, and I found my current therapist that I actually just love. I've been with her for like 6 years. And I mean, she calls me out on my bull. She holds me accountable. She tells me when I'm in the wrong. She gives me homework, things to do. She's kind of pushed me to have like really uncomfortable conversations. And so I work really well with that style for the things that I needed to work through personally.
But how did you
Oh.
find? Yeah, how did you actually
Yes.
find her?
So I have the privilege of having really good insurance. So I actually started with Psychology Today. And that's actually where I found all of therapists. Like, when I moved out of California, I had to get a new one, and then I ended up going back. But anyways, so Psychology Today is like a really good resource, and there's a list of psychologists. But then I would just take their name and plug it into my Anthem tool to make sure that it wasn't covered by insurance.
Are there reviews on there that you
Yeah,
would read ahead of time?
It's like a dating profile.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of them have photos.
I haven't used that before.
It's great. Like, most of them have photos. So you get a photo of your therapist, your name, what school they went to, what they practice, their focus. Sometimes there's a little blurb about them. So for me, that was amazing. I wish doctors' offices did it too, but I really like being able to get a little bit of detail. That way I'm coming into it kind of knowing what to expect, maybe personality wise, but definitely what I'm going to expect practice wise from them. And that's kind of the only resource I've ever used is Psychology Today. I love it.
So in the profile, what were you specifically looking for? Was it credentials? Was it what they treated? Like what specific
Yeah.
things were you? Because I'm sure it could be overwhelming going in. There's probably so many. How do you narrow it
Yeah,
down?
I was looking for someone. I wanted their informational bio to have something about anxiety. And then for me specifically, I wanted to work with a woman. I didn't want to work with a man. But then even more like granular, I wanted to work with a woman who wasn't too far from my age group, but also not too young. Because the things that I needed to work through and the things that I needed to talk to, I wanted them to be able to resonate a little bit with the therapist. And I didn't want to work with someone who was maybe 65 and I started therapy when I was in my 20s and they're just like giving me advice or things that like I can't really apply. Because I do feel like as we get older, we get a little wiser, life experiences and things like that. But I just wanted to make sure that someone could be as applicable to what I was going through as possible.
No, that's great.
So,
That's great
yeah.
feedback. So I think that's something I'm always curious about when I hear somebody say they found this person that really like, what did you look for when you started? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? How did you end up coming to that person? And so that makes sense.
Yeah. and I think
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
something.
Joe's
So Jo-
individual was very
So
different.
then you
criteria.
found yours next. So how did you find your person?
Individual or couple?
Individual.
I think similar to Nikki, I was on Psychology Today. That's kind of I think the best app out there. And I'm a psychopath when it comes to healthcare professionals.
It's funny we're talking about finding a therapist and you're saying you're a psychopath.
I'm a psychopath.
So I was specifically looking for a therapist that works with psychopathy.
I've been in the healthcare space for the last 3.5, 4 years now. And so I see the ins and outs of working with doctors and healthcare providers and just how shitty some people are. I didn't know that and wasn't in that industry at the time just starting. Anyways, so I know, so for me, when I cross-reference everything, so I go on Psychology Today and I'll grab their MPI number if they have one or their first and last name, and I'll go search them on any database I can find them just to gather as much information
Like if
as
there were
possible.
complaints
Or if there's complaints, yeah. And so I've had pretty good success because some people leave reviews on one site but not another. And that
Did you end up with a female or male?
female, yeah. I don't know. Just when it comes to therapy and feelings, even though I'm in therapy and I've kind of grown out of it, but I still have a stigma about just a male helping me. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's what you're comfortable with. I mean, I think
Right.
it's okay, whatever
And
feels
I think
right.
there's just the nature versus nurture thing. I think a female provider.
Well,
just
Joe,
more
and
nurturing in that
this probably
regard.
ties into something we talked about in the long episode about who was your person
Correct. My
before
mom.
Nikki.
Yeah.
So being that your mom and where you got your advice from and
Yep.
stuff. And it's interesting that as we have this conversation, I was just thinking about what Nikki was talking about, her particulars and stuff. And all those particulars are relevant and valid, and you never know until you actually have that
Yes.
experience with that therapist.
Well,
because
we took her a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
first.
yeah, because you'll tell yourself that you want something,
Yep.
and you'll tell yourself that it's a particular demographic or a particular gender or everything. And at the end of the day, man, every therapist, just like you say, or just like coaches, is that what you think you might be getting may not be what you are going to
Yeah.
get until you actually establish that relationship. And if it doesn't work, the great news is that you can go to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not about firing them. It's just about it's not just about what you want. It's about what you need
Yep.
and what works with you. And therapy is a very round peg, round hole. If it
personal.
works,
Yeah.
if it works, it works. If
Great,
it doesn't, it doesn't, and not in a necessarily a bad way. It's just I'm not getting as deeply into this as I want to go. And what you think, again, this is what I would just encourage people is what you start with what you think you want, and then open your mind to what you may need.
Interested in changing your life or stepping on stage? Join FitBody Fusion today.
Experience the FitBody Fusion difference with tools, knowledge, and community support to reach your healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
We guide thousands on their fitness journeys, from seasoned athletes to those who are simply seeking a healthier life.
Our expert coaches provide personalized plans and unwavering support, empowering you to thrive.
FitBody Fusion is more than just training. It's a community. We understand the challenges of solo fitness journeys, which is why we foster a supportive environment where members encourage and motivate each other.
Join the FitBody Fusion community today. and unlock your full potential.
Head to fitbodyfusion.com to sign up for a free consultation.
And do it today.
It's kind of like dating. It's kind of like going
Yeah.
on a date.
It is like dating.
Yeah. And I think for me, I had a specific need that I wanted filled, and it was like grief and grief counseling. So that was like my primary focus. Was I wanted a therapist that went to school and had a clinical background in grief and trauma and resolution. And so that's ultimately why I chose the one that I ended up with, and it worked out for me. Was it the best therapist for me? I don't know, but I was content, and she helped me get through my grief, and I'm still with her today. And now we're just, I don't know. I think we talked about it on the first episode, but now, not that I have many issues to really work through on a week, or I see her once a month now or twice a month. It's just more like two pals hanging out.
Just checking in, seeing how things are going.
Yeah.
Joe, when you think about your background in particular, and you say you don't have problems to work through, I would say we all have problems to work through. And the question is how you work through them.
Right.
And everybody has a different mechanism that they do. And if having that person in your life, that whatever is filling your mother's role in that in some, tangential way, or is just giving you what you need, you're working through problems, whether you think you are or not, right?
Yeah.
And you say you don't have much to work through, man. I tell you, I think that's just we all.
I say that from the sense of
in comparison to other times.
I say that from the sense of when I used to go on these sessions, they were very targeted because I was in a very tough spot. But now I barely remember sometimes what I had for dinner last night. So when I got on these calls, I'm like, wait, what did I do those last 2 weeks? And so when we get on these calls, it's like I'm just like a blank slate that didn't remember much. But it is like a wave. There are certain periods or months where I'm down or I'm high. And when I'm down, there's a lot of substance or therapy sessions. But when I'm like kind of up and happy-go-lucky, it's more just like two friends hanging out.
Yeah.
You'll have to do like I tell my athletes when they're like in their check-ins. I don't remember what happened. I'm like, start taking notes throughout the week.
Yes.
Like this happened, that happened. So yeah.
Well, I would do. It's funny you mentioned that. I would do that with our couples therapy because I would kind of forget things and things would happen, and I get on my little notepad on my phone.
Well, you got to because she's gonna remember.
That's exactly right. So I would start writing everything down on my notepad on my phone, and I'd pull it up on our therapy session, like. So on this day,
let me check my log.
On September 2nd at 3:02 p.m.
And I'd put what she said in quotes, and she's like, "I didn't say that." I'm like, "I would not have written this down this way if you didn't say it." So it's just funny little tidbit. But it is a tool. It is a tool to definitely help remember things.
And I would say one thing about that is that because I think men are just this way in general, is we don't remember stuff.
No.
Our women do, and they have these like didactic memories where they can pull up a date and a time and exactly what you said.
At least you think we can.
I don't remember. Well, and that's the thing is that to your point, I don't have a defense for it because I don't remember.
Facts.
And if you were to bring that up in a regular conversation, pull out your phone, you're having an argument, you pull out the phone, then you're in a space where your partner can say, what are you recording me? Are you tracking me? Are you like building evidence? And then it breeds into a different discussion versus having that third party there, that mediator, if you will. That's a space where I'm not going to say that's accepted behavior, but it's allowed. It's a safe space, right? To
absolutely.
do that in. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were like our individual therapy type journeys. But when we were looking at a couples therapist, because I was so pro couples therapy and Joe was just semi-anti.
Warming up.
Yeah, warming up to it. I put the ball in his court to do all of the research that he wanted to do and to pick the person that he wanted.
Yeah, and same criteria. I wanted a woman therapist, and for us and this dynamic, I think I struggled with this notion of like me and my feelings being right with our issues, and I needed validation. So when I was looking for a therapist, I wanted someone that had a strong clinical background, and so I looked for someone that was a psychiatrist. And the woman I ended up finding was she's wrote research papers and very big in the space, and just very smart woman, and knows a lot about mental health and all these different practices and skill sets. So that was like box tick, tick, tick. Like I know that when I go into this session, I am comfortable and confident that if she tells me I'm in the wrong or if something I'm doing is wrong or out of line, that I have a lot of
Shh.
I have a lot of confidence
What
in
did she just say? I didn't even hear it.
Which is off.
it gave me a lot of confidence that I'm like, okay, I can maybe take a step back and put aside my ego for a second and take into consideration what she's saying.
So I was just curious, like, so she was an MD rather than a
Yeah.
PhD.
No, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was a PhD.
Yeah, she has her
Yeah.
doctorate. Yeah.
Okay.
Just funny because I actually didn't like her at first. I felt like Joe chose someone that was just like his mom.
She's very much,
And
very
and
much
not
like
that
my
I
mom.
disliked his mom. She was wonderful. It was just like, to me, I'm like, ugh, like, we're gonna sit in this therapy session
And it's going to be his comfort spot.
100%.
Which is the exact thing that he probably feared of whether you would have picked the therapist, right?
100%. Yeah. But it ended up being wonderful. Yeah.
That was exactly what ended up you guys needed.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
We both love her.
Exactly what we needed.
So here's the question. What if that first session would not have worked? Or what if it wouldn't have resonated with you, Nikki?
For me personally, even with my individual therapy, I always give them a few sessions,
Okay,
2 to 3, because the first one you're really unpacking things.
Right.
Sure.
Second one, depending you're still unpacking things. But then, by the second, mid session, third session, you're kind of getting a feel for their treatment style, their communication style, and So had I not liked her, it wasn't what I expected. I didn't really love the energy. But by the time we got to the third one, I really liked her. I just felt like she was wise and calm and held us both accountable. I think I got my first win. It really helped us. And I just felt like I felt that trust and rapport building with her that I was going to see it through.
So I'm curious, when you were looking, because I know Nikki had mentioned like she kind of wanted somebody within like an age, like not too far from her age, but not too young either. Like, was that a factor for you, or were you straight credentials?
I was, mainly credentials. I mean, age is, I think, always a factor because, between decades and generations, there's different schools of thought and what have you. But that was kind of put at ease for me knowing she had the clinical background. And I think, like Nikki said, it's a really good point that I didn't think about, but you have to give them at least, 2 or 3, 4
Sure.
sessions,
I agree.
because you have to, some people might go into it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna, finesse this therapist. And if that, you might do that, but if the therapist can't suss that out, then they're probably not a good fit for you. Or
For
if you're not
sure. Well,
getting
you're
into-
wasting your time at
right,
that
if you're not
point.
getting to the root of some issues, then it's probably not a good fit for you. Like I think Nikki had one therapist when we moved out here and just kind of completely blew her off, and she was like smacking her food on the call and like had her feet up and stuff like that. It just
Whoa.
Whoa.
And so Nikki went out of there and she was like, not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Are you guys doing it as remote, or are you guys in person?
We are remote.
We're remote, so we hop on the computer.
She's based here, but
Yeah.
she just never went back to an office.
But one piece of advice I would give, and I think maybe my years of experience with therapy lent itself here, but like when we first joined our first call, Joe was kind of quiet, a little bit more on the, this is about us and blah, blah, blah. And I freaking kicked the floodgates open. And I was like, no, these are our problems. This is what I'm unhappy with. Yada,
Sounds like us, babe.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And so that's my piece of advice. Like if you're going to go into couples
Make it worthwhile.
therapy, I mean, kick the door down the first session, because it's same with the sport, right? Like you're going to get in what you put in, or you're going to get out what you put in. So like for me, we needed a remedy. I wanted it as quick as possible. So I had to pour into it 100% from the get-go.
I love that. I'm with you 100% because I'm also paying for the time. So I don't want to waste a minute of it. I'm like, here it all is. Just take it all and let's.
It's uncomfortable for a lot of people. I remember when I started individual, it's just your ego's involved, and if you don't like talking about feelings, it's just really uncomfortable. So I think that's fantastic advice if you can muster up the courage to kick the door down.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's kind of put a bow on this, which is do your research.
Yep.
Yep.
Figure out what you think you want.
Yep.
Look for that. at least give it 2 to 3
Resources,
sessions.
Psychology
Yeah,
Today as a
Psychology
good
Today,
resource.
and check with your healthcare provider or your healthcare insurance. There's so many resources out there. There's a brand new app that came out. They have these 2 guys that are auctioneers that are saying,
Yep.
"Hey, but I'm looking for somebody who's very sensitive to my feelings," and I think of it. Anyway, so there's an app
don't
that
know
comes
about
out where
that.
you can. Yeah, it's a commercial. This I don't know whether that's a legit good
There's-
resource or not, but there's resources. Is the point.
Psychology Today, your insurance, BetterHelp is, I think, a free app for therapy. I mean, there's so many resources for you.
And,
out
and at the
there.
end of the day, that's going to lead you to the door. But what's going to really get you to the nitty gritty is giving that person 2 or 3 sessions. And
Yes.
if it doesn't feel right, find another one.
Yep.
If it does feel right, then keep going. And then communicate with each other, especially when it comes to couples therapy.
Yeah.
And what did you say? There was one other thing that you said.
I have something I want to say.
Okay.
I would just think one of the most important things is being okay with therapy and mental health. It's got a nasty stigma, but I think it's helpful no matter what you're going through in life.
Well, nobody wants to think that they need help.
Yeah.
We all want to think that we're
And in reality,
Or
we
that-
all need help.
Or that
so.
mental health and mental
Yes, we
issues
do.
aren't real, or just all that.
Yeah.
It's got a nasty stigma, but I think everyone can benefit from that. And that's what Nikki would always tell me, is everyone can benefit from therapy.
Right. No matter what. I
Yeah.
truly believe that. Like
I do too.
we've all, no matter how simple or a breeze our life has been, which I think that's pretty rare. You know what I mean? Most of us have had something, that's gone on. But I just think having a neutral party can be helpful no matter what. It's,
Yeah.
you go to a friend or a family member and they're invested in one person or the other, and they're not really able to kind of give that full neutral time and attention
yeah.
to you. Like
Yeah.
that's,
Even just to make you a better, and it's done wonders for me, but a better and more empathetic individual, right?
At the end of the day, the therapy is about showing you parts of yourself that you're unwilling to
Mm-hmm.
uncover or unwilling to really address, and then showing you that different perspective. It's not about telling you you're right or you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's about showing you something
I already know I'm
different.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Every
That's why I said. So we're actually over time.
Yes.
So we ready to do the 4 Bs? Wait, do you want to tell people how to get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on Instagram, Nikki Lagorio _IFBB Pro.
And or on the FitBody Fusion website.
Yep.
And Joe, you can't get a hold of him other than if you
And don't slide into Nikki's DMs.
don't slide into Nikki's DMs. If you want to get Joe, try Vulcan Mind Meld, maybe. I don't know.
That probably would work.
Yeah, that might work with him.
The board.
Find him on the gaming board or
It's like, I don't
something.
know what that is.
Yeah. Some cohort or whatever. Anyway, we're ready for the 4 Bs.
Be good to yourself.
Be good to each other.
Be safe.
And be kind.
And be liking and subscribing and commenting. And all that stuff. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.